Welcome to Trot Talk, an equestrian conversation with the American Saddlebred Horse Association. I'm your host, Tuffy Owens, and for our podcast, we're exploring the equestrians behind the horses, influencers in the industry, sharing their stories and giving a leg up to our community. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We're here at the Fiver, at the home of Ali DeGray and Helen Rich. Beautiful facility. We've already taken the tour of the 200-acre property, but Ali, thank you so much for joining us here on Trot Talk.
Thank you for having me.
Fiver, what are the Fivers?
All right, so it is let me see if I can get this, the Rocking, Rescue, and Retirement Rich Rancho. Rich is my mom's last name.
Okay.
And, it's mostly rescue and retirement.
I love it. I mean, we've seen the full menagerie. I think we even saw an alligator, a lizard fell in my hand. What is the idea here behind this whole thing? I mean, we've seen a little bit of everything, goats and ponies and whatever.
I think my mom's initial idea was to have a farm where she could rescue and accumulate animals that needed homes as much as she wanted to, and with whatever they needed. And it's sort of become bigger than that. She has her Friesians and her fell ponies under the 5R carriage division. Okay. So there's all kinds of things going on. But if you are looking for a day covered in animals, we've got it.
A little bit of everything. We've had your German Shepherd running behind the golf cart on our tour. Danica, she's been a great companion. How did you kind of get into all of this? I mean, obviously your mother is an animal lover, but did that come from her and the interest in saddlebreds in particular?
I think it goes back a lot further than me and a lot further than my mom. If I'm correct, I'm a fifth-generation horsewoman.
My goodness, okay.
So my grandmother bred Arabians and was really devoted to that industry, and then national show horses as well. And Mizdi, my aunt, really picked up on that. And has been incredible. She's
done okay.
Yeah, she's decent. So they both stayed in it. I'm not sure that I ever had a choice.
Yeah, well, right. Yeah,
yeah. I think I was probably duct taped to the saddle at a questionably young age, but luckily it's in my veins. I can't imagine a life without horses.
But the saddlebred, how did that come into the picture? I mean, she did the national show horses, so they're half saddlebred, they're part saddlebred at least, but like...
Yeah, I remember I was training to do Western on an Arabian, and it was around that time when I'd start to show. We were looking at bolo ties and Stetsons.
Yeah, so you're about 3 at this time.
Probably. I think it was 6. And I saw Tom and Nancy Scott were there in Ocala, and I saw Nancy riding by on, I think it was a national show horse, with this big trot and this mane flowing, and she was posting, which I'd never done. And I was the most timid rider ever, but I thought, I want to do that. Nice. What is that? And so Mizdi sent us to Tampa, to Ruth Gimple Stables, and I was there for 18 years.
My gosh.
Yeah, and I've tried other things. I've tried barrel racing, cutting, reining, a little bit of jumping, and anything on a horse, I love it. But there's something about a saddlebred.
It is. It's so funny you say that. And we just recorded with Carson just this last weekend, Carson Cressley, and it's almost the exact same scenario where it's like they had this herd of like 200 ponies that they bred, but then he went to Quentin Riding Club in Pennsylvania and saw somebody ride a saddlebred. He's like, "Yep, that's it. That's it for me now."
There's just nothing like it.
No. What is it about the saddle horse for you that has kept you in it for so long? Because I mean, you do have options. I mean, you could be driving fell ponies and Friesians with your mom on the carriage course, or you could do a lot of different things. But why have you stayed with the saddlebred for all these years?
I think there's a lot of little reasons, but I think overall it's impossible to explain. Because I've tried so many other things, and my love of the horse is deep. I don't judge any other disciplines. I love all of it. Yeah. I mean, I'll go to any kind of horse show. I'll ride any kind of horse. I'm just a huge horse lover. But the way that they're built, the way that they move, the way that their minds work, I am captivated by saddlebreds. Nothing has been able to pull me away.
Yeah. Well, no, clearly not. What were you like as a kid? I mean, did you have any other hobbies besides the horses? Like, you and Will growing up, what was that like?
We grew up in Palm Beach. Okay. So a lot of surfing and skateboarding and, water life, no shoes. Right. Really awesome. But, Will went on to be a professional surfer and a fisherman. And I just really liked to read books.
Okay.
and draw
All
pictures and pet animals.
That plays in with like the timid rider, and then
Yeah.
you're reading the book,
Painfully shy.
Oh my god! Clearly, that has changed over the years.
Yeah, well, it needed to. I still prefer. I think animals are the best people.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody.
But I mean, you're interested in horses, obviously. Fifth generation horsewoman. What do you kind of see as what you're going to do with horses as you go forward? I mean, is there? I know that you've got some horses that are up at Singing Hills being bred, but those aren't. Are you breeding saddlebreds, or what's up there at Singing Hills being bred?
Hackney.
Hackneys, okay.
Yes.
Hackney horse, Hackney pony.
Hackney ponies.
Okay.
I love the Hackney pony just as much as the Saddlebred. I think that's important to note.
Yeah, very much so.
I started with a Hackney pony, technically, showing with a 50-pound bag of feed in the cart. Because I don't know that the pony knew I was back there.
Ah, okay. Yeah, a little extra drag coefficient. I like it.
Yeah, but we've got, we're small breeders. We're trying to do our part and try to raise some really neat saddlebreds and hackneys. And I'm really excited about that because I really, quite frankly, don't know a lot about breeding. But I have a lot of great people around me to mentor me. And I look forward to picking their brains. It's been really fun to learn that.
Get some good guidance. Yeah,
I feel lucky to have that. Just every facet of it. I'm really intrigued by every facet of horsing, for lack of a better term.
Well, I mean, but you have so many different interests. I mean, besides just what we get to see in the show ring. Like we were out there and we were doing our tour, and here comes Boutonniere trotting up to the fence. But his job here as a retired horse is to take care of a couple of rescue quarter horses out there. But your role here is to kind of help run the rescue end of it and take care of all these horses. And I mean, tell me kind of about your day to day, living here on the 5R.
So I tend to gravitate more toward the rescue animals, like you said, and I spend a lot of time giving them compliments, checking on their environments. I think it's important. What's cool to me about retiring our show horses here is it's an entirely new set of layers of our relationship. So, like I showed a horse named Starlight Voyager for years and years.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
In many different divisions. And then he retired here, and he's funny. He can be a bit off about some things,
okay.
But he has turned into the best trail horse I've had here. And I can ride him all over these 200 acres, through anything. I can drive him through cones.
Oh, good.
We do combined driving. I
Nice.
mean, and our relationship has gotten so much deeper than it ever was. And that's really, really special to me because my horses are basically my family members.
Right.
It's hard to have long distance relationships with my show horses that are in Kentucky. But yeah, and it's riding and the fun part. I mean the fun laid back part that nobody gets to see.
Yeah.
It's the whole picture, it's the balance.
Well, and you were talking about the relationship with the horses and being your family, but you were super close with your actual family as well. Like, your mom, who we just saw over at her house on the property. Your relationship with her, it's just, I mean, and I don't know anything about it, but it just seems special. And I mean, obviously mother-daughter should be, but talk to me a little bit about that relationship with her and experiencing these things and how you've been able to share, this experience with her.
Well, I'm really lucky and grateful that we have so many common interests, especially the horse.
Right, yeah.
It's pretty easy to get along about that, but it's been fun. It's been fun to watch her move into different disciplines, and cheer for her in that, and watch that evolve. And it's been really neat to see her with the Friesians and the fell ponies. And it's fun. It's fun to canter by her on some horse while she's driving a pair.
Yeah.
It's nice to share that. I think that's a really pure thing to share with someone.
Well, and I think an end of it that I always enjoy when I'm watching you guys, like there's just an appreciativeness to success, or you're fourth and you're ecstatic out in the ring, and you get your little Ali laugh and smile at you and that you do, and and you get your number called out. But your mom doing the same thing, like what I announced up at the Royal Winter Fair last year. And her team won a class in the Green Meadows, which is a very prestigious, coaching division up there. But she was just, I remember I sent you a video of their victory match. And, oh my God, but you guys are always so happy for each other, no matter the level of success that you're achieving. You just really seem like you're happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, we're happy to be here. I think that's how I always put it, is I'm just happy to be here. I feel very, very fortunate that we've accomplished a lot of the things that we wanted to accomplish. And I think right now, at least for myself, I'm just in a place where every day I'm blown away that I have the horses I have for their personalities and their abilities. And I'm so grateful to get to compete. And I'm at a point where I know most of the people I'm competing against, and I'm happy for them, and I know how talented they are.
Exactly.
And it's just neat. It got more fun somehow.
That's awesome.
22 years later.
Well, we've kind of covered how you got into this whole mess. Now we're going to take a little commercial break. We'll come back and talk about what you're doing these days in the horse business. The American Saddlebred Horse Association is a proud sponsor of our show Trot Talk and is devoted to the success of all American saddlebreds. The ASHA strives to maintain the integrity of the breed while providing a variety of programs to foster public awareness. Interested in learning more? Search ASB Dreams on Instagram or follow us at Saddlebred Horse ASSOC. Let's get back to the show. Well, welcome back to Trot Talk with Tuffy. We're here with Ali DeGray at the 5R. We've been talking a little bit about Ali's history in the horse business, and now I want to talk a little bit about what's going on, present day. What do you got for next show season that you're excited about?
Whew.
I know, it's a list.
A lot in different capacities. Mm-hmm. I have a new partner this year, which is exciting. Mm-hmm. We've been working on a few things, and he's a big challenge for me. His name's Psychedelic Memories.
Psychedelic Memories, all right.
Tammy showed him as a junior horse last year.
Yeah, we saw that horse. Yeah, nice horse.
Yeah,
wonderful.
He's really cool. I have a thing for the humorous chestnut geldings. It's kind of my deal right now. And excited to come back with my longtime partners. Mm-hmm. There's something really special to be said, I think, about spending that much time together.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited.
Well, you know them in the show ring. I mean, you know what they're going to do, and you know what you can do, and which ones are the most maneuverable, and you can work the ring, and what they like.
That's true, but some of them, like Cabo, will be different every time.
Okay.
Sometimes he's light, sometimes he's a wild man. Billy likes to think of new tricks to throw in my direction.
Oh, good.
He's
always helpful.
He's matured a lot, but he makes me laugh every time. I text my boy that I count on.
Yeah, there you go. Same way every time, right?
Same way every time. He's like, I'm holding him back.
Yeah, right.
I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for things outside of the ring. To get more involved in different ways and try to be as helpful as possible. Yeah,
well, I mean, just voted in. I think that I saw the announcement yesterday. I don't know when the vote ended, but a new member of the ASHA Board of Directors. Congratulations, I think.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah, no, you should be. We'll talk more about that in our third segment of this, because I want to hear kind of some of the ideas that you've got going forward. But who have been some of your biggest influences in your riding career?
There are a lot. I'm a huge fan of a lot of people in the ring. I love to watch Mary Gaylord.
Oh, yeah.
You can watch her teaching lessons to people. And she's taught me a couple lessons in the ring.
Yeah, in the show, right.
Absolutely. A lot about driving, because I love driving as much as I love riding. And she really is an incredible driver.
Yeah, she's great at that, for sure.
Always thinking 3 laps ahead. Mm-hmm. And I love to watch Jenny Taylor.
Yeah.
I love to watch Deborah Orr. Nancy Lee Fisher was one of my biggest idols because she was just so calm, cool, and collected.
You've got a murderer's row going here of lady riders. That's pretty awesome. That's a pretty awesome group you've got so far. I'm going to keep going.
Big fans of all of them. David Rudder.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Big fan of that rider. And honestly, my peer Justin Cowley.
J Cow. I love
J
it.
Cow. I love to watch J Cow. I could go on. There's just a lot of people where I try to make a point to watch them because I feel like I learn something every time I watch them show.
Yeah.
And their styles are so different.
Oh, for sure.
You know, it's cool.
Same kind of end result, but it's a different way of getting there. And I think we can all learn a little bit from watching. And like, oh, this one works the ring this way, and this one does this, and this one sets this pass up, or whatever it is. You learn a lot just by watching and kind of absorbing.
Definitely.
Another guy that we talked about before was Carson Kressley, and we talked about being a big fan of his as well. From the promotional end of it, I think, I don't think we have a bigger Saddlebred ambassador than Carson.
No. He's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge Carson fan on a number of levels. Obviously, he's a very talented equestrian, but I don't know how he finds the time to do what he does for us.
Right.
In between all of his other scheduling. And still be the most authentic, kind, hysterical person.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I could go on and on about Carson.
Well, yeah, we were talking about the new show Rap Battle. We were watching Rap Battle.
He is hysterical. I don't even like Christmas present wrapping, and I love that TV show.
Well, you did not get your love of Christmas from your mother then, because she has it going on in that house, man. That is Christmased out.
Oh, Florida's Martha right there. Yeah.
Well, the one thing that we had said earlier before we started recording here about Carson was the way that he delivers his message and the way that he has kind of built his career is about positivity and being just being a positive force moving forward.
I'm so inspired by the fact that he has literally built a lifetime career on being authentic and kind and positive and helping other people get to where he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
No, it's
books about it, television
right,
programs.
right. I know.
I mean, he has literally devoted his life to helping other people love themselves and be the truest versions of themselves that they can be, and somehow managing to sprinkle in a heavy amount of Saddlebred.
Yeah, right. Everywhere he goes, he's like, here's Live with Kelly and Ryan, and we're gonna talk about Saddlebreds on my farm. Like, what? How did you do that? Like,
he's a saint.
Yeah, no, he is a godsend for the American Saddlebred. What has been one of your biggest challenges along the way, throughout your equestrian life?
I feel that question on a number of levels. Because I think somebody once told me that the highest highs and the lowest lows comes with horses. And I completely agree with that. Yeah. I think in this industry I've gotten my heart broken. And I've had some of the best moments of my life. Yeah. But I think some of the struggles, I'm sometimes my own worst enemy.
Okay.
I put a lot of stress on myself to always be better, do better, constantly.
Yeah. No, it's like you said, the highest highs and the lowest lows come from being in the horse business. One of the things that I've been thinking about, coming into our interview is just how normal but not normal you just are as a person. And let me explain it before you get offended. People in your situation coming from means obviously that's a big piece of it, but you've not let that kind of take you down the wrong path. You've kind of channeled all of that into this world and the giving back and doing things for others. It's really inspiring to see all of that. But I feel like, has that been what's kind of kept you on a good normal human path? Like, I mean, it's a way that there is the ability for it to have gone down another path, I'm sure.
Yeah, I always credit horses and art for maintaining my sanity. Yeah. I think those are the two things that keep me grounded and level and when I feel like an absolute crazy person. Yeah. But definitely the giving back. I think volunteering at a dog shelter is one of the fastest ways to come back to normal when you're feeling crazy. Right. Or just going out and getting dirty at the barn. Yeah. I think when I'm feeling like I've completely lost touch, those are my go-tos. I think the horses, and a word I like to use is centering. They kind of bring you back to your emotional center point. And humbling. Well, yeah, humbling as well. So from that end, now we go to the other end of the spectrum. What's a success that you've had that you're really proud of, like a big moment kind of thing? With the horses?
Yeah. Well, or just in life in general. I mean, people are interested in knowing, more about you because you're a really interesting person.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know. I'm really proud of I'm really proud of a lot of things. So not to sound full of myself, but
I'm awesome.
I think it would be surprising what they are. It's not always a blue ribbon. I think a lot of people can relate to this. Sometimes something might seem like it's going really well from the outside, but it's so hard. Like the first year with Billy Deluxe was really hard for me because he was tricky. And he was new, and we were learning each other. And I remember we went somewhere and got second, and I almost cried because we had fixed the issues that we'd struggled with all year long.
That's awesome.
Like the ribbon was a waste of my time. I wanted to get out of the ring and give him the bananas.
Yeah. Oh, the banana, that's the bananas, okay.
Yeah, I think it's more things like that. I mean, I am really, really proud of the accomplishments on paper that my horses have done. I credit that mostly to Tammy and Derek and Tyler and Rich and Maureen and Ruth and Ronnie in the past. I always say I'm not the best rider, but I'm a real good listener. So,
that's half the battle, man. I tell you what, putting people in the ring, that is half the battle.
Yeah.
They'll listen to what you say.
Exactly. I'm a good, if I hear you, I'm going to do it.
There you go.
But yeah, I'd have to think about that question a little bit longer. I'm proud of all the dogs I've gotten adopted.
There you go. That's huge.
I feel like Dog Cupid. That's something that makes me feel really, really, really good.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And we have our little rescue man at home as well. And it's awesome to see it's a dog, but you've changed their life for the better, and you get to do that on a daily basis. That's like your job. Like you go and change dogs' lives, and those dogs go and change the people's lives. I mean,
it's a constant cycle.
Yeah.
That's why it's so great to be a part of that.
Very rewarding, I would imagine.
It's extremely rewarding, and it's really mostly the dogs.
Yeah.
And a huge village.
Absolutely.
But when it all works out, it's the best.
Well,
ever.
good. Well, good. Well, now we know what you're doing. Now we're going to take a break and then talk a little bit more about future plans and what's next for Ali DeGray. We'll be right back on Trot Talk with Tuffy. Trot Talk wouldn't be possible without the support of the United States Equestrian Federation. USEF is dedicated to uniting the equestrian community, honoring achievement, and serving as guardians of equestrian sport for every horse lover. Discover more about the USEF by checking out their website, usef.org. Well, welcome back to Trot Talk here for the third and final segment. We'll talk a little bit about the future for Ali DeGray and then go into the lightning round questions, which I haven't told you about yet. I know. It's going to be very intense. But we talked a little bit about your election to the board of directors of the ASHA. How did that kind of come about? Like, obviously, people voted for you, but how did you decide, that you were going to, pursue that? Was it them asking you? How does that kind of happen?
I honestly never anticipated that happening. I was nominated by somebody that I really, really look up to, which was kind of starstruck me.
Okay.
When somebody you idolize asks you, you go, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me do it.
But I think it's an incredible honor, and I feel the tremendous weight of responsibility on my shoulders, not in a negative way, but in a way that this industry has given me so much for the entire duration of my life. I mean, since I've been developing memories, I've been in this industry.
Yeah.
And afforded me so many more opportunities, friendships, experiences. I know that sounds inauthentic, but I really, really mean that. It sounds like a Hallmark card.
Right time of year.
Yeah, and I never thought that I'd have the opportunity to serve on a board like the ASHA. And to be honest, I am young. I am inexperienced. I look forward to learning a lot, but I'm hoping to accomplish some things for the breed that's given me so much.
Well, it'd be nice to have a fresh set of eyes and a fresh take. I mean, you're a different generation than most of the people that are on the board. I mean, you are going to bring a different viewpoint.
That's true.
So I interviewed this morning. We recorded a podcast with the president of the ASHA, Marty Schaffel, and he told me to tell you that to welcome you to the board and to wish you well. Marty's job that he's done these first few months, we kind of talked about a little bit before we started recording. But again, back to the positivity of message. What have you seen, over the last few months from the ASHA that's got you excited about joining the team?
There's several elements that I think have been really exciting about the ASHA lately, and one is Marty. Mm-hmm. I really value those memos, for mm-hmm. lack of a better term, that he sends out because they're transparent and they're vulnerable. Yeah. And you can tell he's speaking from the heart and his place of experience and wanting to do his best. Mm-hmm. And it really gives me a sense of hope. Also, I was super impressed with the ASHA and USEF teamwork at Louisville this year. The mm-hmm. social media presence was amazing. Yeah. And I know Jessica Cushing and Alexandra Harper have been killing it in their respective roles. Yeah. I'm really excited to work with them. Really excited. I think the ASHA has been evolving very, very quickly, and they've been on fire.
It really has. They really have, it turned a corner, it seems like. And you mentioned the word transparency. I think that's really difficult to achieve in any organization like this. There's so many moving parts. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes that it has to stay behind the scenes. I mean, but to be able to kind of peel back layers and not have it just be this stone wall, is that something that you want to see going forward as well with that level of transparency? Absolutely.
I think, it's the age of social media, and that's something that my generation is really big into. And I've really been paying attention to what people have been saying online about our industry, within it, outside of it, and I'm really hoping to address a lot of those issues. I think the transparency is important because it shows strength, I think. And
absolutely.
And I think it opens that dialogue, and we need to have a dialogue with our members. Our members are important, and I'd like to have more members come in. And I'd like for everyone to feel heard, no matter what role they have within this industry. I think that's really, really important. And I think that Marty's really fostered a sense of teamwork and togetherness and trying to bring everyone together to take us to the next level.
It is certainly a good feeling, that you're getting from the organization, nowadays. You talked about bringing in new members. Carson and I talked about that we've lost a lot of our venues where, you have a lot of the public. But what we've really lost is, as a society, they don't view going to a horse show as entertainment anymore. It's not like, they go to a movie, go to a football game, go to, all these different things, as like an outing entertainment. That's just not, the horse show isn't on the radar anymore. But the way that we can reach them is digitally. They can still see that Saddlebred like you saw, see the Saddlebred like Carson saw, but they can access it from a social media platform. Is that something that you think that you can kind of bring to the table? Is that background with, a good social media following and that kind of outreach and expertise?
Yeah, I definitely, having had, an Instagram, a Facebook, and being publicly a Saddlebred rider, I have received a lot of very interesting and unsolicited opinions. Right. So I think I have a pretty good idea of, if we have some PR problems, what those might be. I think that those are solvable. Yeah. I really think that they are. I think, but with that transparency, that's what we need, and we need to address it, and we need to be willing to evolve and have those conversations. With new people, with other disciplines. Yeah. But yeah, I think there's huge strength in our social media presence. And also, I think if Carson had some ideas for making horse shows fun again, that's your guy.
Yeah, man.
And they are more fun. I mean, I've been really impressed with some of the newer horse shows, having a ball. Yeah. And my friends are not horse people, but they love coming to horse shows.
Well, there you go. Yeah. What is it that they're enjoying about the horse shows? Being with you, of course. But
obviously, I'm a huge draw.
You're a big draw.
Good shopping, good camaraderie. Right. Who doesn't want to scream and holler and clap and whistle and learn a new thing? And also, I think the free craft beer under my vending table sometimes. Boom. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're not promoting a specific craft beer.
Yes,
Unless they
Florida.
want to sponsor.
Yes. Here's your opportunity.
Here's your opportunity to jump in.
Florida
You can be
breweries.
Exactly, be under the vending table. What are you vending? Tell us a little bit about that end of it.
Well, I was vending my jewelry. I am planning on taking a step back from that in order to donate a lot more of my time to
there you go.
the ASHA.
I love it. You probably still have it. Could you still have an Etsy shop though, at least?
Yeah, I'm trying to work on my time management.
There you
be
go.
as effective as possible, but I know me. I can't be without creating.
Exactly.
That's going to come out.
Well, it's horses
some
and
way.
art. They're, hand in hand, keeping you centered. You don't want to be leaning off to one side or the other. We
That's
need
my
you centered.
sneakers.
Exactly.
You don't want me cranky. You don't want me without my horses.
I
and
don't
my
think
art.
I've ever seen that. I'm good with that. I'm good with not having seen that, but
It's the red hair.
It's exactly. That's fractious sometimes. It's all right.
That's very diplomatic.
That's my job. What is something that you have yet to accomplish or haven't maybe even tried yet, but you hope to do in the future? Good one, right?
So many things.
Yeah.
There are divisions that I have not conquered. I would like to do that. There's also more styles of riding, and I really would like to try with the Saddlebred I have at home and maybe some others. A few other styles of riding, just to put my money where my mouth is, because I know the Saddlebred is versatile.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
And I would be really interested in doing my own learning with that.
Yeah.
And taking that to new places.
Well, that'd be cool. Yeah. Well, later on we're going to record a podcast with Jody Swimmer, who does dressage at a really high level with her Saddlebred. So there you can listen to that one and maybe glean some knowledge from.
I would love to. She's amazing.
Yeah. Exactly. 5 years hence, where are you headed? I mean, where do you kind of see yourself in 5 years from now?
5 years from now, ideally, I would like to see myself having much more knowledge of breeding.
Good.
And being more heavily involved with the breeding side of things.
Yeah.
I haven't really thought too much. I'm more of like a fly by the seat of my pants person.
Moment to moment, that's me.
What my horses need is where I'm going.
Yeah.
I like it. I kind of go with that.
It's good to be flexible that way, though. To have a malleable plan is not a bad place to start from.
You're right. I think all of the people in my life outside of the horse industry would not think I'm a very flexible person. But within, and I'd like to get more involved with what my mom and my aunt are up to with their combined driving and carriage driving.
Very cool.
And I think I have some really cool opportunities to learn some really cool things from them.
Yeah.
And
Not bad role models to follow behind.
No, I feel very lucky.
Yeah.
To have those two powerful women.
Mm-hmm. What advice would you give to young riders that are maybe just starting out, or that are just coming up through the ranks? What advice would you give to the young kids of today?
I can only speak from my own personal experience, and I think that one of my biggest struggles has been being a nervous or timid rider, and having a lack of faith in my ability.
You're not the only one.
No, I cannot be the only one. I promise you, there are still times in the 2019 season when I'd look at Cabo in the warm-up ring and go, I don't know if I can do this. He's amazing, and I'm me. Like, how is this going to go together? Do not waste your time with those ridiculous thoughts. Nice. Do not waste a moment doubting yourself, because that's time that you could be spending kicking ass. Doing your best. You want to remember the horse show that Sunday and kick yourself because you were distracted with things that aren't even legitimate? Yeah. Or would you rather go, I made some mistakes, but whew. Yeah. I mean, I tore it up in there. I did my best.
Leave it all in the show ring, right?
Leave it in the show ring and enjoy every single moment. Don't waste your time with the negativity.
I like that. But I like that we started with the positivity and now we've axed out the negativity. We've gotten both ends of the spectrum. Well, to wrap things up every time, we always go through our lightning round, rapid fire questions. Ali has not yet seen these questions, and nor will she, but they're not that hard.
Don't cuss.
Greatest horse you've ever seen in person, any breed?
Wild Eyed and Wicked.
Well, I love that. That's very good. Greatest horse that you have ever ridden or driven, or pony?
Can I say 10?
Yes, absolutely.
High Tech, definitely in there.
Yeah.
Tiger Lee, Cabo, Billy, any horse that has ever given me the honor of sitting on them, quite frankly. they're all special and important. I don't know.
I like it. If you could bring 3 people to dinner, dead or alive, have one big dinner party. Well, not big dinner parties, only 3 people. Who would your dinner party consist of?
My grandmother.
Okay.
Dee Dee Wrigley. Honestly, can I just say my own family members that I never got the opportunity? My grandfather and my great-grandfather. There's so many things I would just love to ask them. Yeah. And pictures aren't enough. If you knew these people, please give me a call.
No, that's really cool. That is a very good answer. What is the craziest name that you've seen for a horse?
Most of them by Nutcracker. It's just a lot of nuts.
There's a lot of nuts out there. And listen, my job is to announce those names.
Good for you. Good for you on the nuts names and the Frisian names.
Oh my God, the Frisian names are just out there, man. Like sometimes I'll be like, and this one, like it'll have like one name and then like Van de blah, blah, blah. But I'll just go with the first name. I'm like, all right, yeah, that's it. Just jor it. Yeah.
Jor it. I did quasi accidentally name one of my horses Missy Elliott. That is her registered name. But you know what? I'm standing by it because Missy Elliott is an incredible woman.
Absolutely.
And hopefully this mare will follow.
Well, you can't go wrong. No, mine that I had to announce one time, the worst one I think I've had to announce was Hot Nuts.
See? So, the nuts. Yeah,
exactly.
How do you not laugh?
I am now. That is a special skill. That's why that's why I get to keep my job. The favorite memory that you have as an equestrian?
There are so many that just flew through my brain.
Right.
Like a movie montage.
I think people would like watching that montage.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
There was a really special moment for me. So I was a Calorama's Ultimate Choice fan since he was imported to the United States. I mean, chin on hands watching him with love in my eyes. Couldn't believe that I was lucky enough to get to call him, to be his human, because I don't think any of us truly ever own an animal. But Tammy showed him because that was the smartest thing to do. But one year at Asheville, she let me trail ride him all around the fairgrounds. And Tammy's late father, Johnny, who's one of the most entertaining and fantastic people I've ever had the pleasure of calling a friend, accompanied me on foot through the entire experience.
Really?
And I felt just really lucky to be in the company of 2 awesome men like that on a trail ride at a horse show and looking at mountains, because for Floridian those aren't common. Just every little part of that was so special to me.
That's cool. That's a really good memory. That you killed that question. Right. Well done. If you could have one last meal, what would it be?
Oof.
There it is, the big one.
Super garlicky buttery noodles. That's my favorite.
Super garlicky buttery noodles.
Yes. Oh my. I mean, when I'm sick, that's what my boyfriend makes me, and I'm a happy lady.
Well, that's what's important,
Yeah, I'm a simple lady.
I love it. Well, Ali, thank you so much. I mean, you were a killer on the podcast today. Thank you so much for joining us here on Trot Talk.
Thanks for letting me be myself, and thanks for having me.
Thank you all for listening to Trot Talk. We hope you enjoyed the ride. The ASHA is committed to promoting and protecting the American Saddlebred horse for a brighter future full of ASB dreams. I'm Tuffy Owens. Keep listening and trot on.